Hello everyone, and today we're back into another video, and we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to be reacting to another YouTube video. So, C.B.O is a Lumian Legacy YouTuber, and he just made this 6 must-use Lumians. And I'm really interested to see how this video is. Like, I literally have not watched it. This is my first time reacting to it, and we're going to react to this together, so let's see what it is. So, yeah, C.B.O. Link to his channels in the description below, as well as this video that I'm watching right now. So, let's start it.
For new and returning players, the struggle of team building good teams in a different and almost unfamiliar metagame is always evident. However, there has always and always will be great Loomians who will appear in almost every single metagame to provide versatility and value to the team. So today, let's talk about them. In today's video, I'll be recommending the 6 must-use Loomians in the game. Remember that this is just my opinion, and this isn't a top 6 best Loomians, but rather a list filled with Loomians that bring so much versatility and value to their teams that they are very splashable and usable in most teams. This is Cotton Stoops, and this is the top 6 must-use Loomians in Loomian Legacy.
Alright, so the top 6 must-use Loomians. So, these are probably Loomians based on versatility and usage and how they can provide to a team. So, Phage Knot's gotta be up there. There's so many ways you can run a Phage Knot. I mean, has one of the best defensive typings in the game, pure electric. I mean, it only has 2 weaknesses. Great melee defense. So many different ways to run it. It could be ran as a pivot user. It could be ran as a magnify user. It could be ran as a rejuvenate tank. It could be used with a secret ability offensively. I feel like Phage Knot's going to be up there. Luminami's got to be up there as well. I mean, the fact that it could soak a hit and pivot out and gain HP back, like, Luminami's got to be up there somewhere as well. Like, and if I were to have to give one more, I'm not going to do 6 of them. I'm only going to do 3 of them. If I were to have to say one more, I guess Spar Blast, just because it could place icicle traps and has a great defensive typing. So, those will be my 3 versatile Loomians out of these 6. If I can get these 3 right, I'll be very happy. We'll see. Hopefully, my 3 are on his 6 must-use Loomians. So let's get back into the video. Let's see what his list is.
It is no secret that Tyrex is one of the best Loomians and will continue to be one of the best Loomians in the OU metagame.
That makes sense. I agree. Tyrex is very good, especially with the Terrifying boost. A very good defensive typing, and also has an offensive typing that can hit Siddragon, Venilin, and Tundralin super effectively. I agree with this one all the way.
Due to Tyrex's attributes, Tyrex can fit on almost all current playstyles and teams, while being one of the best options in those team slots. As it stands, Tyrex's defensive typing offers many good resistances like Mind, Metal.
Look at all those resistances. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 resistances? Oh my gosh! And also that immunity to electric is also very nice as well. It does have 5 weaknesses though. Like, that weakness to fire and earth does kind of suck, but hey. 7 resistances and an immunity, I don't think anyone's going to turn that down.
Air, Ancient, and an immunity to electric. Since most of these typings are very common in offensively pressuring, this gives Tyrex a lot of viability in covering weaknesses from many Loomians. This is reinforced with its very balanced bulk of base 89 HP, base 102 melee defense, and base 83 range defense.
Yeah, the defense is really good on Tyrex. Like, look at that. Especially when you combine Terrifying to the mix. It even has a solid speed stat with 74 as well. And for a tank, 74 speed is pretty good. Even offensively, it could be used as something that can hit solidly hard. So, it actually is a very good Loomian. I like this. This being on this list, I 100% agree with.
3 range defense. Not to mention its very important ability, Terrifying, allowing Tyrex to tank even more from the melee side, while being able to tank hits from the range side as well. When putting all of these together, Tyrex seems to be great defensively. However, it does have some good offensive attributes as well, with Tyrex's main coverage of Steel Crusher, which has a chance to boost melee attack by 1
That does help when you get that
Earthquake.
+1.
It can hit Ancient, Ice, Light, Fire, Electric, Toxic, and Metal. This hits quite a lot of types, while only 4 current Loomians being able to resist these stabs, Malmark, Beldrix, Stratosaur, and Banfino.
Ooh,
On top of
Deludrix and
this,
Stratosaur,
Tyrex has a
yeah.
respectable base melee attack of 111 to scale with its strong coverage. Luminami has been memed ever since the first Rally update as the
Oh,
Toolbox
yeah.
Loomian, referring to its ungodly amount of versatility it has. Similarly to Tyrex,
Yes, I got one of my three. One of my three is up there. It makes sense. I mean, you can plug Luminami on any team and it can do well. Although it is hard to pivot when they're plant types. Although you do have Frost Beam and Mega Chomp, so you can hit those pesky plant types. Thankfully.
Luminami has a lot of great defensive and offensive attributes. Just like Tyrex, it has very useful resistances, resisting water, light, ice, ancient,
Yeah, Luminami has a great defensive typing as well. I mean, four resistances with a quad resist and an immunity. I mean, being immune to Spirit is awesome because you cannot get hit by Shadow Sprint priority. Also, having that major resist to fire is nice. Resist to water, light, and ice is also very good. And to ancient. So, yeah, its defensive typing is also very good. Being weak to plant, no big deal. Being weak to dark does kind of suck and toxic, but hey, it doesn't matter too much when you're very bulky, especially on the melee side.
a fourth resistance to fire, and an immunity to spirit, and has great balanced out defensive stats of base 102 HP, base melee defense of 93.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. With that 102 base health and 93 melee defense and 83 range defense, yeah, Luminami can pretty much soak any hit in the game, I feel like. And not to mention with Power Napper and Flash and Flea Pivot, yeah, that's what makes Luminami so good.
And base range defense of 83. This might seem a bit familiar, but what it does differently from Tyrex is the ability to pivot.
Exactly.
With Flash and Flee and the secret ability Power Napper, Luminami can pivot out of the battle and regain 1/4 of its max HP back. If you know what you're doing, this gives Luminami a lot of opportunities to regain HP naturally and will allow a much more useful moves in its move slot. Speaking of moves,
Yeah,
Luminami's many moves and attacking base
coverage.
stats, those being a base melee attack of 90 and a base range attack of 94, allows Luminami to run a mixture of melee and range moves. Assuming our Luminami is running Flash and Flee, on the range side, Luminami has the choices of running Gamma Pulse, Maroon or Tsunami, and Frost Beam, while on the melee side, the Mega Chomp, Thunder Chomp, Chili Chomp, and Hydro Slash are its choices. Unless
It has Blind Spot Batter as well, I believe. So
you are a
yeah.
Lumian that flat out walls Luminami with
No, is it Blind Spot Batter? It's that move that Terashino has, I believe.
safe enough bulk on both sides, Luminami will always have some kind of coverage to threaten a handful of Loomians. Still fitting in.
So yeah, Luminami, I agree with that. And the fact that it can run Frost Beam, has Peace of Mind, it also has Rejuvenate as well. So yeah, Luminami is just very good for pivot, especially when you combine it with another pivot user like Ikazune, Nemare, Zulong. It can be extremely dangerous when combined with another pivot Lumian that has Zip Zap or Flash and Flee or Fade Away.
In the similar roles of Luminami and Tyrex, Phagenaut's attributes are more offensively or
Yes, that's two of my three. That's two of my three. So it's my last one that I need to have happen is Bar Blast. But we have two of the three. Yes.
oriented, while still keeping the defensive attributes very bright. Phagenaut's base stats of 105
Look at those base stats. Those base stats might be some of the best base stats out of any Lumion in the entire game. It does everything well except having range defense. Having no range defense though really doesn't matter when you're using it with malware. And even then, you could run an energize one and gain that range defense. And not to mention that its pre-evolved version, Elephage, can run Drop a Youth and Rant. Yeah. So yeah, you could lower the ranged attack. And that's what makes Phage not so good. There are so many different ways to run it. I hope C.B.O goes over a lot of the potential sets Phage Nut can run because that's what makes Phage Nut so good. Is the number of moves it can learn.
of HP and a base melee defense of 100 allows it to tank pretty well on the melee side, while Phage Knot's range defense is only base 55. The range defense gets a little patched up by its Phage Knot's HP stat.
That's a good
Phage
point.
Knot's melee defensive role is reinforced with Rejuvenate and its normal ability, Malware.
Yeah, Malware.
With this ability,
so
Phage Knot can take away most melee attackers' abilities, causing them to naturally get weaker.
Especially against like
Calling back to Phage Knot's offensive attributes, it really does define how good Phage Knot can be. Phage Knot has a base range attack stat of 140 and a base speed stat of 95.
Like, let that sink in. Like, I know that Phage Knot is slower than Elephage. Like, I understand that. It hits extremely hard for a tanky Lumian. Like, let's look at Phage Knot defensively. Because a lot of people run Phage Knot as a defensive Lumian. 140 range attack for a defensive Lumian is absolutely insane. That, like, you can run no range attack stat, and it can still hit extremely hard. And you can run no speed on a Phage Knot, because 95 speed is insanely fast for a tanky Lumian. Like, 95 speed, like, the fastest tank I can possibly think of is Stratosaur with like 81 or 82. So the fact that Phage Knot has 95 is absolutely insane. Like, it outspeeds a lot of wall breakers.
When paired with its defensive attributes, Phage Knot can be offensively pressuring at times while having the ability to switch in and take Lumian's abilities. Adding more fuel to the fire, Phage Knot has double pivot moves in Zip, Zap, and Flash and Flame.
Yeah, that helps.
Solidifying its capabilities of being a great defensive pivot with its base stats and giving it an ability to be a great lead and good utility moves like Provoke and Tear Down. We're finally getting...
Wait, Phage Knot Provoke? I didn't even know it had Provoke. Okay, I guess it has Provoke. Oh, I wish it went into all its different moves. It can use Harmonious Chord. It got Tear Down and Rejuvenate. It didn't go for the Final Ruse one, though. Although, I don't think Phage Knot would run Final Ruse. I think Final Ruse would be more fitting for, like, Elephage, because its speed is faster. So, I guess that's yeah. But it's another move, though. And also, the Rant can actually hit those pesky plant types as well. Does it also have Tase as well? I think it also has Tase as well. So, yeah. Phage Knot can kind of do everything.
Into the offensively oriented section, and to nobody's surprise, Eclipse is on the list. Practically every...
Wow, Eclipse is on the list. I wonder why. More immunities than weaknesses? One of the best offensive typings in Lumion Legacy? A 96 speed tier Lumion with Dark Surge that can flinch everything down? Yeah, this thing is pretty good.
Everything about Eclipse screams good. Starting with Eclipse's secret ability, Total Eclipse, allowing Eclipse to do so many things. Light and Dark may seem like a bad defensive typing, but Total Eclipse adds 2 immunities that give speed boost.
Honestly, even if you don't have Total Eclipse, Light Dark defensively is still very solid. Like, you only have 2 weaknesses. The reason why it seems worse is because with Circadian, you're only pure Light or pure Dark. So that's why the defensive typing seems worse than it actually is, when in reality, you only have 2 weaknesses, you still have 1 immunity, and you still at least you're at least still neutral to Light and Dark, which is very insane. And not to mention, offensively, Light and Dark is just amazing. The only typing that isn't completely messed up by it is bugs, so yeah. Get your bug types, people!
When Eclipse is contacted, giving Eclipse 3 immunities. What's even better about Eclipse is how well balanced out its base stats are, allowing it to tank unresisted hits. With base 85 HP, base 84 melee defense,
it has
and base
solid
83
bolt
range defense, this allows most offensive Eclipses to take hits from a wide array of unresisted hits. As for Eclipse's offensive pressure, it is truly magnificent how Jamie let this happen.
Exactly.
Eclipse's speed tier of 96 base speed might not seem as fast as compared to other metagame hyper-offense,
but if you get hit by a light or dark type move, you outspeed everything in the entire game.
Lumians, but this is nothing to scoff at, as this outspeeds almost all wall breakers and walls in this game. Speaking of Eclipse's offensive pressure, its coverage is probably the second best thing in Eclipse's kit. Eclipse's dark and light stabs and the addition of Raging Howl, no Loomians in the game and more in the future will be able to resist all of these stabs unless they have abilities to resist these stabs. When you pair these Loomians with Eclipse's base range attack of 116,
which is pretty high,
you can see how strong Eclipse is, because in most battles, The Eclipse will potentially hit everything in the game neutrally, therefore removing any sorts of checking it with resisted hits. Imagine
I'm kind of shocked that he forgot the potential Dark Surge flinch as well, because having Dark Surge as stab as well for Eclipse's arsenal is really dangerous, considering that if you Eclipse could be the last Lumian left and you could have a Tyrex on the field, but if that Tyrex gets flinched twice, that Eclipse wins. So I'm kind of shocked he didn't talk about Dark Surge having the potential to flinch.
Eclipse's coverage but amped up to the max. This is basically Gargolem attack. This Lumian is known for its 155
Gargolem attack is up here? Interesting. Like, the thing is so frail, but the thing is, if you can get this thing in, it can be extremely dangerous. Maybe not on the... like, it's a very useful Lumian, but I wouldn't put it on the 6 must-use, so... That one's an interesting one. That one's our first little question mark.
base melee and range attack while having a good speed tier of 105 base speed.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
On top of this, Gargolem attack has earth and air coverage of landslide and jetstream, assuming we're talking about the range side since it's the most viable.
Yeah.
One of the most strongest coverages in the game because it hits fire, metal, electric, toxic, bug, and brawler, while only having 3 Lumians in the game who can resist these coverage. Vestiver, Stratosaur, and Wintrix.
But it also has Boom Bash, and Slapdown, and Dark Surge.
This means that only 3 Lumians in the game can resist its 155 base range attack and 90 base power stab moves. On top of having 105 base speed, outspeeding all Lumians, including wall breakers, walls, and most offensive Lumians. This is not even taking into consideration that Gargolem attack has more coverage moves, making it almost unstoppable to resist all of its moves at once.
Yeah.
There's not much to say about Deldrix that I've said in most of the points I wanted to say
Wow, no Barblast. I'm kind of shocked about that.
in this video. There will be a card right now and a link to the video in the description below. So these are my list of Lumians.
Yeah, I watched the Deludrix video. He thinks that it is potentially an Uber, especially with Zip Zap to swap out. I'm not sure. I don't think it's Uber, but Deludrix can cause some awesome offensive pressure. The only scariest part is priority users. You do not want to be up against a team with full of priority. If there's a Vesperatu or a Ursul or a Himber that has Quick Punch and Shadow Sprint, it could really mess you up if you're not careful. And you could even say, oh yeah, there's range tanks. Oh, there's Gastro. Oh, there's Venilin. Oh, there's Eliguana. Oh, there's Terraclaw. The thing is, you could just Zip Zap out and bring something else in that can beat those. So yeah, Deludrix getting Zip Zap is extremely dangerous. Not to mention that it's a bug type that can hit Stratosaur quite effectively.
I should start off by saying some of my honorable mentions. For the defensive honorable mentions, I would like to nominate Obsidian, Pyrolin, and Stratosaur.
Wow, honestly, I'm shocked that isn't in the 6 must-use. But Pyrolin as well, honestly. Stratosaur, that one's hit or miss. I
was torn on promoting Obsidian as it will be good in the future, but I wasn't sure about promoting a potential Uber.
Yeah.
Also, everyone knows how good it is, so yes. For Pyrolin, while it does fit the mold of a versatile and a splashable Lumian, I just find the other Lumians more useful. And as for Stratosaur, the meta has slowly been adapting to its main weaknesses, pushing it further away from viability.
Still solid.
Some offensive honorable mentions are Wintrix and Totab. Wintrix should be...
Wintrix, yeah, I agree. Wintrix should be in the 6. I'm shocked he did not talk about Barblast. Barblast is so weird. I have never been seeing Barblast recently. In tournaments, I see them all the time. Like, well, I don't play tournaments. I just watch the I Eat Your Face tournaments. I see them on almost every single team. But when I play Lumion Legacy PvP, I almost never see a Barblast. Barblast is amazing. Use it. If you need a tanky Lumion on your team that can get rid of poison barbs, use Barblast. Like, it's weird. Every time I went up against Barblast, they're annoying to beat. So Like, I'm just shocked that no one's using Bar Blast. I don't know if it's just a strange coincidence or if it's just, just how people play the game.
On this list because of how good it actually is, but I
Especially
didn't
with
want to include it
Wise.
because I didn't really have enough time to analyze it. Just know it should be on this list instead of Deldrix.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. The thing is with Wintrix, a lot of people would say, oh, if you use Wise, it doesn't have an ability to increase its damage. But the thing is, a lot of people are actually starting to use the Chill Wintrix now. And I know what you're thinking. Well, with an Ice Air offensive typing that's really bad, like, how are you going to fully utilize Wintrix? The thing is, you don't know if that Wintrix is chilled until the first move and you see the amount of damage it does. That's what makes chilled Wintrix so dangerous. And even though Wise is better, using a chilled Wintrix is actually really scary, considering that you have to think about it potentially being Wise.
The reason why Totab isn't on this list is because
Harvestet.
of my own personal opinion. Deldrix is a bit better than Totab.
Also,
However, these spots are interchangeable at this point.
Harvesect and Toxic types.
Hopefully you enjoyed this video and find something out of it. If you want to like the video and subscribe to support the channel, go do that. If you want to support the Discord server for extra leaks on my channel's future videos, go do that as well. This is Cotton Stoop signing off to tell you that Zulong is still a dumpster fire.
Well, Zulong is not a dumpster fire. I actually just recently made Zulong's in my top 5 electric types list. So, yeah. Zulong's not a dumpster fire. But yeah, subscribe to C.B.O's channel, like the video. The link to his channel and the video will be in the description below. And yeah, I got 2 of the 3. I'm shocked he didn't talk about Bar Blast even with it not being an honorable mention. I think Bar Blast is officially the most underrated Loomian in Loomian Legacy. Oh yeah. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed me reacting to his video. If you want me to do more videos like this in the future, tell me in the comments below. This is mainly just to test this, kind of like make more different videos. Start doing stuff that isn't Loomian Legacy PvP and top 5s, because I've been doing the same thing for the last few months, and I want to start trying to do some different content. So yeah, hopefully y'all guys enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all all later. Bye-bye!